Hello everyone, today is going to be a journal page with these prompts that I made. I am working with my friend in this little prompt book. We draw 10 or 11 prompts, and then we try to create a nice page with them. We're not always that lucky with the right prompts, but we try to create something nice or something that we like anyway. So that's what I'm going to do today. So the first one is insects, and I can choose between spiders, beetles, and bees. I've got this box with animals, and there are a few insects in there as well. Trying to find something that will do for this page, a bee, or this is a bee, I think. Well, I can use it. It's a bit large, but anyway, I'm just going to use it anyway. So I've got this little book. A booklet, I like small, so I've got a huge stack of these booklets that I made, and I am randomly taking one out and working it, whatever fancies me. So this is just watercolor paper, and I'm going to glue my little bee there. Then choose another one. So let's see, face. So, very difficult one. What to do? Draw one, get one out of this box. Which one? So I thought, okay, this will match the color of that bee. So I was going for that. I didn't want to draw. I just want to play with collage. I'm into collage lately. So I am gluing this weird looking fella on my page. And well, it doesn't make sense. A bee and a funny man. So I'm just going to see where my cards take me. So I'm just going to take one, flip over. That means you have to do a little flap or something. So I'm taking this Dina Wakley collage book, and I'm choosing this one. It's blue and orange, and I think it'll match the page now. So I'm just going to measure it out and thinking on what I want to do. So I decided to make it, you can call it a triptych. So I'm just going to measure out the page with a little bit extra for the hinge. So I'm just going to measure it out. No, not measuring, just eyeballing it. Folding that little hinge over using double-sided tape to make sure it stays where I want it. And I am creating a third page this way. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. I'm just going to pull that. I find that if you press really good on that 3D double-sided tape, then it's easier to get that top layer off. And so I'm just make sure a little corner so it doesn't stick out anywhere, and I'm just going to glue it down. And still not decided where I wanted it really, but I thought, okay, it's you see that I just thought about doing it that way, but then I thought, no, I make it a triptych, and I am going to do it like that, is covering up the bee. Might be useful. You'll never know when you use the prompt cards to try and invent a new page or do something to well, spark your mojo. Okay, leaving it that way. I did what the card said. Purple. Okay, entirely not the color scheme that I was going for, but it is a nice color. So I'm using watercolor because it was watercolor paper. The bee was glued on with gel medium, so it doesn't pick up the watercolor that well, but it doesn't really matter that much. I'm just going to put an extra layer on it, and I dried it in between. silver. It is a mix of Dutch and English words, so silver. I've got this, I think it's a Dina Wakley stencil, I'm not sure, it's old. And I'm just using some silver colored paint by Amsterdam. I got a little bottle of it, not much. I love my silver jewelry, but not on my pages. So I just used the stencil, as you can see. Okay, so I'm going for this one, vintage, and I can choose a vintage color, vintage distress, or vintage picture. So I have got this distress collage medium, but in a vintage color. So I'm going to use that to give it a vintage look, and I am collaging some papers on it, and this is very thin paper, the collage paper from Dina Wakley, so I'm just going to make it a little bit sturdier with that paper, as you see there. And going over it, you can see it has a brown glow to it, and in the end you'll see it really gives a vintage look and feel. So I'm just going to glue down some pieces and then I'm done. Next one says red brown, brown red, red brown. So these colors you can use, whatever you associate with that the word on the card. So it's red brown. This is a red color mixed with a golden, I think it's the azo gold. Yes, it might be. So really nice warm brown red color. And I'm using this huge number stencil. It needed a bit more body, and it needed to bring the face and the bee together just a little bit, because it didn't make sense really what I was doing, but sometimes these pictures turn out very pretty and sometimes they don't, but it's the process. Flowers, flower or flowers. So I can't draw flowers. Some weird ones, mystical ones, or fairy tale ones. But I found a few flowers in my stash and leaves, but these flowers that I can use, so I cut them out and then I'm gluing them down. Well, the ones that I was going to use anyway. I'm sorry, I've got the sniffles. I got the sniffles for 3 weeks. It's not a very the C word, but it's just I've got a cold and it doesn't seem to go away that easy. It's been worse, but I'm sorry for the sniffing. So I'm just going to glue it down. It does match the color, doesn't it? So that's what I did. Every layer that I did, I dried. In between, of course, I edited out, but it needs to be dry because you never know what the next step will be, and you can't deal with wet pages, and this gel medium doesn't dry that quick, so I needed long dry periods in between. Just rubbing the wrinkles out of my flower. It's very, very thin paper. Okay, it doesn't make sense. Still doesn't make sense, doesn't it? So I think that I stopped using the prompts here. I might have used one, but no, I think I stopped using the prompts because I just wanted to finish this one. It was getting late in the evening, so I thought, okay, I'm going to give myself the freedom to create something with it to make it look a little bit more as if it is meant to be this way. So just ledger paper, and then I found this sentence, "Where are you going, Fred?" I thought, this man looks like a Fred, doesn't it? So I thought, okay, I'm going to glue this down here, just because I thought it was a nice sentence or a question to ask this weird looking man. I've got this tea bag that I dried. You know, you've seen it a million times, I think. So I'm just going to use that to make it a little bit more interesting. And I love these red-brown leaves. Yes, there it is again, red-brown. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to glue them down like that, so that page looks a bit nicer than it did before. And you can see that there is a little left of the page that I started with the Dina Wakley flip over that I did. So fold out, flip over. And I thought I would bring them together with vintage photo. Yes, there it is again, vintage and the brown. And you can see when I'm doing this, there are darker spots and light spots. So everywhere where there's no gel medium, the distress ink will stay. And where there is gel medium, it will create a resist. So I thought that was a nice touch. You saw me use the silver color on that stencil, and you can see it's shining through here. I'm just pointing it out with my finger. Look, and that I thought it was, oh, that looks nice. So I'm just emphasizing it a little bit more with that distress medium. And then I've got these words cut out of a book, a large letter book, and searching for some words or parts of a sentence to create some found poetry. So it says, in the end, it says he took a deep breath and he couldn't believe that this all had happened. So he looks like something very scary has happened, or something very dirty or something. So I think I'm almost there. Just a little black line, because you know I do that. On the left it says onder de indruk. That's Dutch for, how do you call that? I'm impressed. But no, well, something like I'm impressed, or I was. I don't know. Don't know the right translation. But anyway, I hope you like this page. Leave me a thumbs up or subscribe. And until next time, bye bye.